Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in. We have a great show, and it's very interesting because William Barr, Democrats and media cannot undermine William Barr. They can't really touch him because he's very logical, and he has the authority to, let go of any prosecutor he wants to, because he runs the Justice Department. Excuse me. So they're pretty much powerless when it comes to William Barr. Eric H526, hello. Luke St. Martin, everybody here. Thank you. G-Man, hello. Doug, hello. They're pretty much powerless when it comes to President Trump, but also to William Barr. He hasn't done anything that warrants an investigation. I think recently he agreed to testify, but that's going to not work out well for Democrats too, because they'll ask him questions, and the answers will point back to them. Now we're finding out that the former vice president had not just something to do with setting up and framing Michael Flynn, but now we're finding out that not only was there no reason to investigate Michael Flynn, but we're finding out that, so Biden and President Obama actively were a part of the beginning of the investigation. So we're finding out that Biden stated that, why don't you go and see if he violated the Logan Act? Why don't you go and see if Flynn violated the Logan Act? There's no reason why Joe Biden would be a part of this. Could you imagine if Pence said, let's go investigate somebody within Clinton's campaign? Let's see if somebody within Clinton's campaign violated a certain obscure legal statute. And so they set up and framed President Trump based only on trying their best to utilize the levers of government against the Trump administration. So they started with Michael Flynn. Actually, they started with Carter Page. Then they went to Michael Flynn. They went to George Papadopoulos. And if you ask anyone about any of these investigations or indictments, they don't know how. They can't tell you, aside from either lying to the FBI or perhaps contacts with Russia. They can't tell you what a person did wrong, or how they interfered in the election, or how they worked with Russian intelligence officials. So you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where the former vice president and President Obama stated we'll get the right people involved. So I'll read you this New York Post article right here. I'll read you a New York Post article. Let's see. Okay, so Biden, Flynn. Biden may have personally raised idea to investigate Michael Flynn. This is yet another reason Hillary Clinton's going to be nominee. I will have made the biggest political call of all time, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Former Vice President Joe Biden appears to have personally raised the idea of investigating Michael Flynn for potentially having violated the obscure Logan Act during his phone calls with then-Russian Ambassador Sergei Kislyak, according to newly filed court papers Wednesday. So, Michael Flynn's lawyers basically have information that Biden wanted to investigate an incoming national security advisor. There's no reason to investigate another campaign's incoming national security advisor. They had no evidence. The previously sealed documents also say that former President Obama told top members of his administration that, quote, the right people should investigate Flynn. But then FBI Director James Comey acknowledged during the meeting, which also involved Deputy Attorney General Sally Yates and possibly National Security Advisor Susan Rice, that Flynn's conversations with Kislyak appear legit, according to the Washington, D.C. court filing by Flynn's defense lawyers. So his conversations were already legit, no breaking of the law. So it's like the revelations are contained within handwritten notes prepared by disgraced ex-FBI agent Peter Strzok that Flynn's lawyers called stunning and exculpatory evidence. Strzok's notes attached to the filing includes a mention that appears to say VP Logan Act. According to Strzok's notes, it appears the Vice President Biden personally raised the idea of the Logan Act. Why? That became an admitted pretext to investigate General Flynn. They had no evidence that he worked with Russia because nobody worked with Russia. They didn't indict anyone on working with Russia because they're not even certain. The United States government is not even certain that Russia hacked the DNC. They're moderately to highly confident based on a CrowdStrike assessment, and CrowdStrike doesn't even have concrete evidence. So it's just unbelievable. It is really unbelievable. Then you have the issue of President Obama saying, get the right people involved. But we'll get back to the Logan Act. The Logan Act, which dates to 1799, bars unauthorized Americans from engaging in any correspondence or intercourse with any foreign government. So get John Kerry, get Jimmy Carter on the Logan Act. You can get probably a whole bunch of people. The law has led to 2 indictments in 1803 and 1852, but neither resulted in a conviction. So Strzok's notes, apparently written on January 4, 2017, were previously withheld from General Flynn until finally being turned over on January 23rd of this year. So you have even more information. Then the IG says, well, we couldn't find anything. The Inspector General report didn't have this information. When you have investigations that don't have all the information, that's the thing. You can't say, well, the evidence concludes if there's still more evidence to be found. You can't say that, well, there's no evidence. We didn't find evidence to suggest it's because you weren't given all the evidence. This isn't rocket science. This is definitely not rocket science. Spider Bip, hello. The original Professor Chaos, hello. White Lotus, hello. Paul 48, hello. Low Function 613, hello. Eric H526, hello. So, you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where there was nothing that Flynn did nothing wrong. He did absolutely nothing wrong aside from being President Trump's national security advisor. That was enough for them to go after Michael Flynn. That was enough. But you have the vice president now, according to Peter Strzok's notes, saying that, yeah, go ahead and investigate Flynn on being on potentially the Logan Act. You have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where just think of it this way. We'll change directions. We'll think of it this way. There is no Durham probe. If Democrats win the election, there is no Durham probe. Okay? If Democrats win the election, there's no Durham probe. If Democrats lose the election, then people get indicted and people spend millions upon millions on attorney's fees. And you have a completely new paradigm. Herb, hello. You have a completely new paradigm. So, I should say, if Democrats win, let's just assume they're not going with Biden, they're going with Hillary Clinton. But would you trust the electoral chances and the mind and the eloquence of Joe Biden to protect about 10 to 15 extremely powerful individuals from John Durham? You think these people want to go with Biden, or do you think they want to try their chances again with the person who got 65 million votes and who lost because of Russia? So the question is the following: there's no way they're going to. And then Biden is implicated in Flynn. Also, I mean, he's implicated in like everything. He's implicated in everything. But you have so then you have an interesting. Well, this is Senator Grassley. I mean, it's like so slow. Grassley on the Flynn investigation. What did President Obama and Biden know, and when did they know it? Thank you, Chuck Grassley. Chuck Grassley, thank you. Chuck Grassley speaks like this. He speaks like Jimmy Stewart. Chuck Grassley speaks like Jimmy Stewart. It's a wonderful day at the Kavanaugh hearing, everyone. Oh, what's that? Oh, no. Somebody silence the crowd. And there's another one. I forgot the person's name. Senator. Who is that senator's name? Hold on. There's a senator in the Kavanaugh hearing. What was his name again? Oh. Senator. Oldest senators. Okay. Oldest senators in the U.S. today. All right, so here. Where are the, oldest senators? Who are the oldest senators? Okay. Oh, hold on. Okay, we find, okay. Oh, yeah. It's Patrick Leahy. That's right. Old Patrick Leahy. He's fantastic. I'll get you yet, Lindsey Graham. That's right. Patrick Leahy from Vermont. He's the man. Senator Patrick Leahy. You snooze, you lose, Trumpy. We got you good. Mess with the best, you know what happens. You think you could get away with what you did with the Russians? It doesn't matter if you did anything. We're going to make it all up. Grassley, on the Flynn investigation. What did Obama... You took my girl, Chuck. I never forgot that. And now it's payback. The big payback. All right. Today, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit Court... Comey said Flynn's calls with the Russians appear legit. President Obama ordered Comey to look at things. Okay, so oh my God, the interference from the executive branch. President Obama directed the right people to investigate Flynn. Biden appeared to raise the Logan Act. Well, if it was legit, then why look at things? See, this is like why the establishment Republicans will never win again. Because like Chuck Grassley, he's a very good man, but Chuck Grassley's like, I just don't understand why you would even do this. What were you looking at?
He was getting set up. That's what they were looking at. Senator Grassley, they were getting set up and framed. They were going to go after and try to undermine Trump, utilizing the United States government with bogus investigations to try to make everything level because the other side actually commits crimes. And then they investigate. They say, I found nothing. That's what was happening. So you always get this like, why on earth would they investigate? Why did President Obama say the right people to investigate Flynn?
Well, you already know this. Can you make with Trump, media and Democrats, they don't really play around. They're like, he did this because of that, and that's it, and we know it because it happened. But here, it's unbelievable. For example, did President Obama and Biden deliberately take steps in the final hours of the administration to undermine the incoming administration? It sure looks like they did. Here we go. It sure looks like they did. This is from Senator Grassley, which is hilarious. It sure looks like they did. Yeah, they did. It sure looks like they did. Yeah, they did. They did do that. Yes. Yes, they did do that. It's not that, you're talking about a political machine. It's just unbelievable. It is just unbelievable. So, you have President Obama, you have Biden, you have everyone around saying, yeah, you should do this. Go get him this way. Go get Flynn that way. Yeah. And then the Republicans, this is why the establishment Republicans will get completely obliterated by the only chance Republicans have, because media and money and Democrats have everything, Hollywood, the only person they can't defeat is Trump. They cannot defeat Trump. They cannot defeat Trump. But, let's see. The thing with Chuck Grassley is everyone knows that they utilize the government to undermine an incoming administration under the pretext that administration had something to do with interfering in the election simply because information about Bernie Sanders being cheated was published. The very fact that Trump would benefit from people knowing of how corrupt the Democratic Party is, that was enough. That was enough to say, oh, okay, well, obviously he's part of some kind of scheme, right? It's never like, oh, the Washington Post comes out with the Access Hollywood tape. Gee, you think that was interference? Of course, never interference when it's Trump. And do you think they would have cared? Because you have Clinton on MSNBC saying, China, if you have Trump's tax returns, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So, Eric, hello. So you had you had all of this take place, and William Barr is like, yeah, they went after Flynn. The whole thing was nonsense. Now, I have a different take on Judge Sullivan, the judge in the Flynn case. He still has not been given evidence, and this is true to an extent. He hasn't been given evidence that even though Flynn didn't need to be... Okay, so even though even though Flynn didn't commit any crimes, and even though there was absolutely nothing that he did to warrant an investigation, Judge Sullivan still has, and it's true, he hasn't been given categorical proof that they were all after President Trump. He's still under the impression, like everyone in D.C., like the entire media, that the Russians had a concerted effort to go after our election. So you have to explain that William Barr and John Durham are going to have to explain to Judge Sullivan that, well, actually, we're moderately to highly confident that all of this took place. And that's really the issue, ladies and gentlemen. The issue is the slow dismantling, and I'm telling you, one reason I will have made the absolute biggest political call of all time, and I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, there's 33 million channels on YouTube, and there's only one or two. H.A. Goodman's other channel, I have a great segment up after this one. But there's only one, or I should say two, this channel, H.A. Goodman, and H.A. Goodman's other channel, and my writing in the Huffington Post and the Times of Israel, that have told you what's really going on. This is the MC Breed election. Ain't no future in your frontin'. I am who I am. I don't have to pretend. You know who has to pretend? Every Democrat. I'm voting for President Trump. I don't care if it bothers people. I don't care. People go, "How dare you? How could you vote for Trump?" Well, he's reversing U.S. foreign policy. He's bringing home Americans. He's setting the groundwork to bring home Americans from never-ending conflict. I think that's worth more than, the perception that he's such a mean person. So, and a whole bunch of other reasons, too. He's the only president who will address the $400 billion trade deficit with China. So, which, by the way, I love China, and, it's a beautiful culture, beautiful cultures, beautiful country. I don't blame them. With the intellectual property and the and the trade imbalance and the unfair trade practices, I don't blame them. They have the size and leverage to get away with a lot, especially with Democrats and establishment politicians throughout the world. So what are they going to do? We've already industrialized and become a world power and a world, greatest economy in the world. They're on their way to being the number one economy in the world by far. We'll be number 3. We'll be behind China and India. So I don't blame them, but we do need President Trump. To address the trade imbalance. You can't do it from the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which was a horrendous way of Democrats saying, "Oh yeah, well this will help us address the imbalance in trade." No, it won't. They don't care about that. That would just give corporations a great deal. Actually, would be able to give corporations the ability to circumvent and usurp the laws of countries. But he's doing things that are not popular. President Trump, and then you hear the apoplectic, hysterical, reaction to everything. It's like, "Oh my God, he's doing this. It's horrible. Oh my God, he's horrible." And then Chuck Grassley, I give him credit because I give credit to Chuck Grassley. He's a good man. Okay, he's a good man. But Chuck Grassley, what did President Obama know, and did Vice President Biden know, and when did they know it? He turns into Jimmy Stewart. They're so innocent. Could it be that the former administration was going after Michael Flynn? I mean, I don't think that looks like it. At a certain point, look, okay, here's how you know Hillary Clinton will be the nominee. And here's how you know Biden ain't going to be nominee. And I will have made the biggest political call of all time. If Biden's the nominee, we get a Durham probe for 4 years, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Eric H526. Thank you. If Biden's the nominee, we get the Durham probe for 4 years. We get William Barr and John Durham with a mandate to go after everyone that went after Flynn. Kathy DePoy! Kathy! Thank you, Kathy! Kathy DePoy, thank you so very much. Very kind of you. Kathy, be here November 3rd. It's going to be a party. Kathy DePoy, we need you here at this party. It's going to be an absolute... It's right around the corner. I don't know. They haven't listened to the MC Breed song, Ain't No Future in Your Front. They haven't learned anything from the Titanic. They keep on right towards the iceberg. Hey, look, there's an iceberg. Let's go. Full steam ahead. Kathy, November 3rd, we're all going to be partying. I'll be partying with a non-alcoholic beverage for everyone to enjoy in the live stream. Everyone's going to be partying. November 3rd is going to be the most amazing evening day in YouTube history. Kathy DePoy, be here. Thank you so much, by the way, Kathy, for all your support always. Thank you. It's going to be amazing. But here, you're not going to have, God bless Chuck Grassley. He's a good man. He's a good man. Even Leahy might be a good man, but he's stuck on the wrong side of history. Grassley on the flip. Did President Obama and Biden know? And when did they know it? I mean, I wouldn't want to cast aspersions. Spider Bib, hello. Climb BMX, hello. You're going to be here on November 3rd, Kathy. Everyone here, be here on November 3rd, Kathy. And everyone here. It's going to be fantastic. Eric H526, thank you. Eric H526, thank you. So they set up and framed Michael Flynn. But I don't blame Judge Sullivan. I don't blame Judge Sullivan. I don't blame Judge Sullivan because he has not been given categorical evidence. And this is why William Barr and John Durham need to get as much evidence as possible, so they can, this is why, Ebenezer Adams, hello. This is why they need to get as much evidence as possible and then give it to... See, Flynn is fine. He's safe. Thank God everything's fine. I'm trying to tell you that from just a purely legal standpoint, the judge in the case says, okay, well, this person lied to the FBI. That's it. He lied to the FBI. That's it. That's it. That's all I need to know. He pled guilty. That's all I need to know. It's my court. You have to give Judge Sullivan a lot of evidence that the IG didn't have, like these notes. So, I mean, look, you can't rely on Democrats to investigate themselves. Or you can't rely on media to care if, there was $1 billion in loan guarantees, withheld from Ukraine until Biden, until a prosecutor Biden wanted out. was ousted, you can't expect them to care or even say, hey, that's unethical or illegal, or we need to investigate whether it had anything to do with Hunter. You can't, but you better believe if it was Jared Kushner or Eric Trump or Donald Trump Jr., they would have. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, they're not going to go with Biden. And I'm the only one telling you this. They're not going to go with Biden because something's going to take place, whether it's yet another scandal or whether it's, I tore my ACL or whatever. Whatever. So whatever's going to happen, they're going to go to old reliable, which is the person who runs the political machine. So, Lisa Lister, supporting my favorite voice on YouTube. Thank you, Lisa. Lisa Lister, I'm going to tell you exactly what I told Kathy. Be here November 3rd. Lisa and Kathy and everybody here. You have to, November 3rd. I want everyone to mark it on their calendar. Take out an actual calendar like I have. I'm sure everyone here has. Buy a calendar of puppies or, cats or kittens or whatever, or race cars or, monster trucks, flowers, whatever calendar you like. And Lisa Lister, thank you so much. Circle November 3rd. Circle November 3rd. It is going to be the most euphoric, hilarious night. Oh my God. Oh my God. Lisa, thank you again. Very, very kind of you. Kathy, very kind of you. Thank you. Lisa, as always, thank you so much. Lamborghinis, yeah. HJNTX, hello. November 3rd, everyone. Lisa Lister, you have to be here. You have to be here November 3rd. Okay? Because November 3rd is where, look, it's 4th and goal. It is 4th and goal. Who are you going to give it to, Nadler? Who do they have? We got Ray Lewis, Mike Ditka. Dick Butkus, Ray Lewis, Willie Lanier. We have Lawrence Taylor. We have Harry Carson. We have Derek Thomas. We have Derek Brooks. We have Reggie White, John Randall, Bruce Smith, Deacon Jones. Who else do we have? We have Ronnie Lott. We have Deion Sanders. We have Jack Tatum. We have everyone. Who do we not have? Who do we not have? And they have Jerry Nadler. So, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? It's 4th and goal. They have to punch it in. Lisa Lister, thank you so much. And Kathy, thank you. Lisa, thank you as always for your generosity. Thank you. Kathy, thank you as always also. Thank you. George Rivera Jr. HA still don't get the brouhaha over SDNY. After all, one of the Clintons' first actions was to fire every single U.S. attorney and put in his people. Exactly. And President Obama did the same thing as well. I think that, so that guy was, so George Rivera Jr., that man was appointed by President Trump. That man was appointed by President Trump. Lisa Lister, thank you again. Have a great evening, Lisa. Thank you. Thank you. So George, that man was appointed by President Trump, but he just served as an extension of the Democratic Party. So, he's going after everyone associated with Giuliani, but of course they never go after any Democrats. So the notion is the following, like, they went from Russia collusion to Ukraine interference in the 2020 election. But now they're talking about everything from voter suppression to, who knows what else. So they're all over the place all the time. George Rivera Jr., be here November 3rd. I think I'm going to tell all my super chats to just be here November 3rd. Lisa, thank you. George, thank you. So I think the issue was this man was perhaps being too overzealous and trying to do everything possible to undermine Giuliani for no reason. So I think that was the issue. I hear I was just looking, fastest NFL players of all time. And if you look at 40, Bo Jackson and Tyreek Hill, Deion Sanders is third. Oh my God. So you just imagine how fast Bo Jackson is and Tyreek Hill are. Bob Hayes was very fast. And then Bob Hayes was an Olympian, right? Darryl Green. They say Darryl Green was faster than Deion Sanders. Chris Johnson, Devin Hester, and Randy Moss. Yep. But, I think they like NFL Films did this thing. Like Darryl Green was the fastest player ever. Something like that. If I remember correctly. So George Rivera Jr., Lisa Lister, thank you. So anyway, let's see. The polls are absolute nonsense. They're doing it against themselves. It's going to be hilarious too, because it's not like they're like, oh, well, we really need to find, we really need to try to make sure we win again. It's like, oh, we're in the driver's seat. Trump is on the ropes. We got him. Then Trump hits the 3-run home run at the bottom of the ninth to win the game. They'll never learn. I swear to God, they're never going to learn. They'll never learn. They will never learn. At what point do you say, gee, maybe, just maybe, we shouldn't be overzealous? Spacefish, hello. Reverend Fry, hello. At what point do they say, George and Lisa and Kathy, Lisa, thank you again. At what point do they say, oh, maybe we shouldn't be overzealous? Maybe we're underestimating Trump again. Maybe his supporters are not a bunch of simpleton, horrible people. Because if they lose again, you can oh my God, they're going to lose. Because what are they going to win? On the platform that we're not Trump, we're not orange? That person's orange and mean and a horrible human being. We're nice and good, and we're not orange. So what? Why would we vote for you? And he worked with Russia. Why would we vote for you? Why are people even voting for Democrats? I don't know. Why would anyone vote like... You have to understand something. Every person in your life, and you know what? Don't gloat. Do not gloat, okay? But every person in your life, everyone you know, everyone you don't know that bothers you, like Hollywood celebrities, are like, you're a really bad person if you vote for Trump. When they lose again, the meltdown is going to be biblical. And it's not going to be like, it's actually in that moment when they lose, it won't be geared towards us, the Trump supporters or President Trump. It'll be like the circular squad just aiming at one another. Figuratively, not literally, God Almighty. It'll be the blame game. You did this. You didn't want Medicare for all. No, it's because you wanted Medicare for all. You didn't like Hillary's personality. Well, now you have Trump for 4 more years. And Twitter is going to go into the dustbin of history. My God Almighty, it'll be fantastic. It will be fantastic. It will be absolutely fantastic. So, because people are going to say, look, we spent a long time. We spent a long time retweeting all the biggest imbeciles on the planet. We spent a long time, every waking hour, every single waking hour. Ebenezer Adams, dishonest people the polls think it will suppress vote for Trump. Wrong, but their moonbed followers actually will. And I'll be screaming like losers. Ebenezer Adams has one of the great statements of all time. I'm going to actually copy that. That's pretty awesome. It's true. The moonbed. Oh my God. Children of the Corn. The Hale-Bopp Comet people have nothing on the Democrats. It's going to be really scary when they lose. Really scary. That's why I don't have Twitter or Facebook. That's why I don't have Twitter or Facebook, because dishonest people. Yeah, exactly. Well, they also, Ebenezer Adams, it's not that only that they think, it's not only that, it's that they can't get people on the lifeboats until after they hit the Titanic. Well, actually, they have to keep up the appearances that the Hindenburg and the Titanic are like, amazing. They're really, really good. So, James, hello. Richie, hello. Valerie Rogers. Excuse maker wanted full-time position. Valerie, hello. It's going to be so easy to transfer it to Madam Secretary. It will be so easy. It will be so easy. There's no way that Biden is up over Trump. There's no way that anyone is enthusiastic to vote for Biden. All they have is, well, he's not Trump. You can't win that way. For someone to be up in the polls, people have to actually explain why somebody would vote for Biden. Why would anyone vote for Biden? Does he have a signature policy? Does he want to address the trade imbalance with China? Does he want to reverse U.S. foreign policy? Does he want to go after very corrupt intelligence officials? Which is, oddly enough, Like, Democrats have zero, like, their mentality is, why on earth would you want to go after Comey, the Boy Scout? He's fantastic. He's like a Boy Scout. He's so by the book. He's such a good person. Oh my God. He's such a good person, Comey. There's no better person. James, I have not. I'm staying away from social media forever, aside from YouTube. I don't consider this social media. I think this is like probably the best communication. I speak into the camera, and people hopefully enjoy my weird, bizarre personality. But I don't want to, with social media, I heard Parler is actually a good place, or a good better than Twitter, Facebook, but I'm staying away. I don't have Twitter or Facebook. If you see anyone, ladies and gentlemen, impersonating me, report them to Twitter, take screenshots. But yeah, I'll probably stay away from that, even though I heard it's a lot better than Twitter. Doug, Barnard, Doug. HA, if anyone, who could you see flipping on the plot? HA, if anyone, who could you see flipping on the plot? James, thank you. Doug, I'm not sure I know the question. I think that I'm not sure I understand the question, but I'll tell you, I think that Biden he's going to jump into the reflecting pool. He might try to, tear down a statue himself without any clothes on. Not the statue, him. I think Biden is going to pass the brilliant nomination to Madam Secretary somehow, some way. It's going to happen. The most powerful people in the country, especially in intelligence agencies who John Durham is investigating, are not going to roll the dice with Biden. If Biden tried to roll the dice, you'd have one fly this way, another, who knows where that other one would fly. People would be like, Jimbo! Did you see the Biden Q&A with President Obama train wreck? Jimbo, I didn't. I have not. But Doug, on the Democratic side, it could be a bunch of people. In the Republican side, not many. Doug, thank you. Jimbo! I haven't. Jimbo, thank you. I have to. You know what? Joe Biden's YouTube page is a pretty awesome place. They don't allow. This is hilarious. They don't allow comments in most of his. Oh, here. Let's see. Joe Biden has 72,000 subscribers. Okay. That you don't have to be you don't have to be a YouTube. I don't have that many subs at all. But I might not be president. Okay. I will not be president. I'm not running for president. I won't be I'm not the presumptive Democratic nominee, all right. This is so hilarious. They keep on trying to make him into this salt of the earth person. And who buys it? Nobody buys it. The only thing he has going for him is that he's not Trump. That's it. From that perspective. Doug. On Deep State. Doug, I think that John Durham. This is why I say Clinton 100% will be the nominee. John Durham continues after the election. He no longer William Barr and John Durham right off into the sunset, never to be heard from again politically when Democrats lose. So, Doug, I'm not sure. I think that they're going to find out more information. They'll keep finding out more information as time goes on. I can't tell you from where, but it'll probably be more information. Each text message, each note, each memo, each new revelation leads to further revelations. So, I mean, it's pretty easy to find out what's going on. You just need time. So, Sandiford, Clinton is trying to get permission to testify. That'll be under oath. I wonder why. Sandiford! Sandiford, thank you. It's happening, people. Sandiford! It's happening. Yeah, there's no way that it's going to, when Clinton becomes nominee, everyone tell your friends, be on this channel. It's going to be an amazing day. Luke St. Martin! Ladies and gentlemen, Christian O'Brien, hello. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm kind of running out of steam. I'll be back at like around 9:30. I'll have an earlier late live stream this evening since I started earlier today. So be here at around 9:30, people. God bless. To my super chat, thank you so much. Lisa Lister, Kathy, thank you. George Rivera Jr., thank you. Thanks, everybody. Lisa, thank you again, Lisa. And everyone, just thank you so very much. I'll see you at around 9:30 p.m. this evening, about 2.5 hours from now. And thanks again, Lisa. Thanks, everybody. Kathy, thank you. I'll see you tonight. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you in a couple of hours, everyone.